Now I would like to bring our next speaker, a friend of Rohingya, who has been a great support to put this event, to reach out to the wider community, none other than Hoveman from Stand Up Racism Bradford. Please welcome Rob.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. It's a great honour and privilege to have been invited to speak on this platform in support of the Rohingya community and against the genocide against that community. And it was a great honour and privilege to have Mohammed yesterday at our unity rally organised by Stand Up to Racism make a very powerful speech to the audience there about exactly what was happening in Burma, in Myanmar, to the Rohingya people. Many of us, of course, over the last 10 months and more, have been campaigning over Palestine and the genocide going on in Palestine, perpetrated by the Israeli government, and the similarities between what's happening to the Rohingya and what has been happening to the Palestinians is very, very striking to my mind. The Palestinians, a community demonized and dehumanized and then slaughtered, as we've seen, and very similar things going on in Myanmar. And I think it's very important that we take the arguments about what's happening, the message, the information about what's happening to the Rohingya into the Palestine movement, because people need to be educated. We need to raise the profile of the Rohingya. But I'm also struck by something else. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've seen an upsurge in racist violence in this country. Terrible racist violence. It's why we had our unity rally yesterday. That racist violence is directed, above all, well, partly against the Muslim community because of Islamophobia, of which, of course, the Rohingya community is a part, but also against migrants and refugees. And the story of 500,000 refugees, of more than 1 million refugees of the Rohingya community being in Bangladesh is heartbreaking. Bangladesh is a very poor country. It's a country that's growing, but it's very poor. How can it sustain more than 1 million refugees, Rohingya refugees? And this country is taking a fraction of the refugees across the world. The problem here isn't that we've got too many refugees, it's that we don't have enough. This government is not allowing in the refugees it should be allowing in, which is why people are coming across the channel and drowning in the channel in those small boats. It's outrageous. And our message from Stand Up to Racism is that this has got to stop. And it's not just Tommy Robinson, it's not just Nigel Farage, it's the fact that the leaders of the main political parties are feeding into this racism against refugees and migrants, and we have to campaign against it. And the last point I want to make is this: we have to raise the profile of the Rohingya issue across this country, and one of the most important places to raise it is within the trade union movement. And I'm very pleased that Dennis White, who's from the National Education Union, who's here earlier, is going to invite Mohammed to come and speak at a branch meeting. They have a history in the National Education Union of supporting the Rohingya community, and we want that across the trades union movement. So the last thing to say is this: we have to fight against genocide and oppression across the world. The Rohingya community is suffering very badly. The Palestinian community is suffering very badly. And we have to be out there and show it's got to stop. Thank you very much.